To be showing a recap of everything that's happened when it comes to insecurity in Nigeria, and that's what our number 2 topic is here. Now, since the start of this year, we had plenty of hope as the authorities said that they were going to be providing us with safety, which is like any constitutional right for any citizen. But let's take this little image here, and let's give you a recap of everything from 2025 before we go into conversation with our in-house guest, Abdulateef. Well, let's see this.
The full blown was just moving, we are just enjoying it, pressing it down. Women are being raped. Come and see, we have to be slave to the Islamic terrorists. They will force you to go and farm for them. If our local native people do not go and farm for them, then even if you farm, they know you have farmed, you will not harvest anything. Genocide. I have the statistics. I've been to the monument. I've called names. These are the names of people that have been killed in one day, one night, 501.
Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done. I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and to report back to me. And I mean, like, immediately. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria, it's all over. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. This is not going to happen. The killing of Christians is not going to happen.
There we have it, a narrative from outside the country, only because Nigeria failed to actually make its own narrative, tell its own story, and that's what our security implication has become since 2025. And there are very many questions, but I'm not going to be having this conversation all by myself. On the musical chair of Breakfast Central special show here, we have Abdulateef, who is head of research here at News Central. Abdulateef, thank you very much for joining us. From your perspective here, let's talk about 2025 when it comes to security, the hope that we came into 2025 with and what we might be leaving without.
Okay, well, in 2025, we had a lot of expectations, the improvement in security, looking at the budget and how much is being deployed to battle insurgents and terrorists. However, we saw that at the start of the year, things looked a bit on the balance. However, by March, we started having cases of violence. For example, we had the mob attack of 16 people from Kano who were mistaken for bandits, and they were summarily mobbed and killed. And then you have the cases of bomb blasts, in Borno, in spite of the effort from the state and the military, the police. Then we had cases of interception. Surprisingly, we had about 18 soldiers who were intercepted with arms, alleged, suppliers of bandits and other non-state actors. We had policemen who were arrested for that. In any case, we had cases of bombings, we had killings, abductions. Niger State surprisingly had one of the highest cases with 315 abduction in one. Yeah, yes, there's bombings too.
It's in Zamfara State, if I'm not wrong.
No, in Northeast. That is Borno State. Yeah.
So,
yes.
On Breakfast Extra during the weekends, we have this thing called the strips, where we take a look at what the daily editorial cartoons are from all through the week, and then we analyze them, because comedy is a way that people really get to understand what's going on. Our producers are going to help us now. We're going to put up one cartoon from Bulama Mohammed, who draws for the Daily Trust. A very interesting artist, this. And what he does is capture people's sentiments on paper. Let's take a look at our very first one here, which is how we were going into 2025 with the hope that Nigeria was going to have a sort of manageable security apparatus. Unfulfilled promises. 2 years ago, 2025, this was our middle mark, but it didn't seem like as if we were going to get there anytime soon. For Bola Tinubu, it might have seemed overwhelming. I've got 2 years and I haven't even scratched the surface when it comes to security. Does that hope still remain, Abdulateef?
The only thing we can continue to live with is hope, but Nigerians are getting tired of, the repeated sing-song of hope, hope, hope. And Nigerians want to see more. They want to see more arrests. They want to see more people penalized, apprehended and penalized. Because sometimes when you keep terrorists and non-state actors in custody for too long, you allow for their accomplices to plan their exit, either through jailbreaks or other forms of attack. So if someone is complicit, you need to ensure that the dispensation of justice is done as quickly, as swiftly as possible, so that we have more space for other criminals and miscreants to feel.
If I was to ask you what state in Nigeria or the indicator for insurgency, would you say it was Borno? The reason I ask is because of that I want to show you here, which is also put together by Ulama.
Let's take a look.
In this strip, he indicated a moment when, in March of this year, Babagana Zulum, the governor of Benue State, was indicating, well, with all his statements, that we've got a problem here. We've got a resurgency of insurgents. And that really captured, we're going to have that up, that really captured what was happening then. Would that have been a turning point for Nigeria if we had taken this seriously from March this year, instead of which to get that narrative changed by the outside world on Truth Social Donald Trump?
One of the things I like about the governor of Benue State is he is very realistic. He does not try to paint a picture of what is not there. You get it? So when he mentioned that really there is a resurgence, what I had expected from the security forces is a concerted effort to double up, to checkmate the resurgence. What you would notice towards the end of the year, I think in November, was an especially delicious moment when insurgents from the ISWAP camp against what do you call them? Now the two camps, Boko Haram and the ISWAP camp, engaged themselves, and 170, around 170 to 200 of them, they killed themselves in one day. We've not had that, coming from the military. I mean, you engaging the bandits and killing as much as that number in one day. So in any case, that was a plus for us. We don't know the factors that led to that, but it's a good one. However, we know that because of the area they are located around the Chad area, it allows for influx from across the Sahel, Niger, Cameroon, Chad, northern Nigeria, and all that. So it's a difficult terrain to really manage, but we're hoping, we lost, a senior ranking military officer, exactly. So regardless of what we thought, even that case, we have not gotten a full disclosure on what happened. How did a brigadier general got caught in between, insurgents and died?
With Donald Trump and the talk of a Christian genocide very loud, it seems to be like it's a religious war. On Truth Social just the other day, he congratulated Nigerians as a Christmas Day message, saying, hey, congratulations and happy Christmas to even the dead terrorists. That framing versus the framing Nigeria is going with, which is just insecurity. How does that hamper the narrative for Nigeria?
So the framing that Donald Trump's continue to put our insecurity problem is problematic, in the sense that when you continue to say that it is a Christian genocide thing, you blank out the number of people who are killed who are not Christians. For example, Zamfara had the highest number of deaths by insurgents, by bandits, killings, about 1,755 in the first half of this year. but it doesn't seem to get the kind of attention. The fact that people have died is enough for us to have concerted efforts. Their religion doesn't matter, their tribe doesn't matter, their ethnicity doesn't matter. In fact, the first set of people who are the victims of the bandits in the northwest, for example, are mostly the Hausas and the Fulanis. The abduction that happened in Kebbi, for example, was mischaracterized by a lawmaker in the U.S. as Christians were being abducted. It doesn't matter who is being abducted. It turned out that almost all of them are Muslims, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that the bandits that attacked them are apprehended and killed. All the time when we have to recover people who are abducted, we do not get to hear if the bandits were killed, if monies were exchanged. You cannot talk to bandits and expect them to merely release these people. If they release the people, what are you doing with the bandits? Are you tracking them? Are you apprehending them? Did you kill them? We don't get to hear that part. So it's problematic.
What about religious sentiments in Nigeria?
So a lot of Nigerians they oversimplify issues and make it a religious thing or a me versus you thing. But bandits, when they come to you, do not ask, are you Muslim or Christian? Are you Hausa or Fulani? Are you North or South? You are as good as meat for them. If you are highly placed, especially, they know they're going to get more money from you. So mischaracterizing it by saying, okay, this religion, that religion, oversimplifies it. Anybody would have been caught. In fact, even if you're a Babalao, if they catch you, yeah.
So I guess we have to tell that now, and it has to be loud, because what we are getting internationally is not what it should be. Final strip here. This is question is whether Christmas, as what most of the people in the North see it is what we see it as here. There was a final strip by Bulama, and it's very interesting, this one, because it actually has a depiction of a Christmas tree being mistaken for, or rather, guns being put together being mistaken for a Christmas tree. The shadow of which, there you have it there.
This is an especially creative artwork. I mean, there will be a lot of talk. Yes. You look at it and it shakes you to your bone marrow. How do you celebrate with all of this, overshadowing the joy that should ordinarily come with celebrations, So you have the, what I call the miasma of insecurity overshadowing a moment that should have been a joyous moment, because ordinarily people go out to celebrate. We do a lot of things during festivities like this. A lot of people move to move home either to the east or to the south, But now you're mindful. You don't want to be in a vehicle where you're being intercepted by bandits or terrorists or robbers, as the case may be. So this is an iconic, drawing in the sense that it tells you that beyond we wanting to celebrate, there is something, an overhang of fear, an overhang of terrorism, in the space.
For joining me to do the segment here on Insecurity Nigeria. We do hope that at the end of the year, well, it's today, we do hope that 2026 is going to bring us better security. I'm hoping that state policing will be a major thing to be discussed. We didn't have time to talk about that today, but state policing might be something that we begin to look at fervently for 2026.